Welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting top 5 in no particular order segment. We've recently done Adam Sandler movies. I think we did Tom Hanks movies. Well, today we're going to do Jim Carrey films.
That was a very good impersonation of Jim Carrey as Todd Olivier.
I couldn't do any. I could have attempted to do the Grinch, but it would have been a very, very sad attempt. So, who would like to lead us in with their Jim Carrey top 5s?
I'll go, I guess.
Go ahead,
Unless
Mike.
somebody else wants to go.
No, go
I
ahead.
think we have a lot of redundancy.
It's gonna be redundant, yeah. All right. So
It's more about the actual ranking now. The ranking.
I got 5, right?
Is this in any particular order?
Nah, in no particular order except maybe number 1.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's my usual. So I don't know. It's corny, but I like Bruce Almighty.
Well said.
Bruce Almighty. I thought that was, a little corny movie, but it was
a nice film.
It was something. It's a movie you just sit there and just vegetate and just have it on in the background.
Some might say it's beautiful.
Yeah. Next one is a movie that I watched a while back, like a long time ago. I haven't seen it since, so I'm very rusty on it. But I do remember thinking it was very sketch, but good at the same time. And it would be The Cable Guy. A little scary.
That was a great
Scary sketch movie, The next one on the list is The Mask. Who doesn't love Cuban Pete? King of the Mambo Beat.
Thanks for that.
Chink chicky boom, chick chicky boom. Anyway,
I honestly
yes.
don't remember that at all.
Yes.
Okay. The Mask is on my list.
So the Mask, just fun fact. Fun fact: The Mask was originally written to be a horror flick, and somewhere along the way they no, let's kitty this shit up, and
Let's make a wooden mask turn into some green goo and
so
Well, like the villain Mask was
Dorian, BB and green goo.
Next one, I guess the number 2 is Dumb and Dumber because it's funny as fuck.
Great.
It's great. My favorite scene is where they're doing the manicure, pedicure thing, and they got the angle grinder.
Cutting around a bowl in his head.
Yeah.
He puts the ketchup on his neck when she
Yeah. It's like stupid funny.
Oh, dude,
It's a fucking
one of the
great
best
movie.
movies
Stupid
ever.
funny. And then number 1, it's an Ace Ventura movie, but it's the best one. And that would be A Nature Call. It has so many.
What?
No, 100%. What? I will fight anybody that says that it's not. It has so many fucking funny quotes. I absolutely love that movie.
Oh.
It's my favorite Jim Carrey
Oh, me
movie.
too.
Absolutely. The rest on my list. Listen, wait. The other ones on my list were eh. The number 1 is absolutely 100% Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Well, thank you for your list, Mike, because I was a little worried that we were going to have a lot of crossover, and you only had one.
Well,
Sean, you want to
That's good.
I'll go next to get my 5 out of the way. And they are ranked, so number 5, I just mean it because I don't know why, they're specific. But yeah, number 5 on mine is Bruce Almighty, because it's a decent movie. I've seen it 100 times by now, and enough chuckles when it's on TBS randomly and stuff like that. And it is funny, Russell said the BEA beautiful thing. I remember hearing that they were trying to really that
Beautiful.
When him and Morgan Freeman go it's good and they do that shit, they were trying to push a catchphrase from the movie, but none of it caught on. It was okay, nice try, just let the movies do that naturally.
Assholes remember that shit.
Mm-hmm. So then number 4 is Dumb and Dumber. It's got to be on there. Too many quotable lines, and almost freaking quote the whole movie. I probably could. And then number 3 for me is the first Ace Ventura. Nothing wrong with the second one.
I'm not saying that
You
that
had
was-
anyone on.
I'm not saying that was a bad movie. It's just not on my top.
I just remember, well, honestly, I appreciated the first one a lot more, getting older and knowing, understanding more of the jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, the second one,
Serious case.
when Nature Calls came out when we were like 5th grade, and of course it was hilarious, but then, the jokes in the first one were definitely more, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
more.
weird to
adult.
say more mature, but more like slightly more highbrow, and,
It was more adult. Yeah.
your gun is sticking into my hip, stuff like that. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, it's just way longer. And then number 2 has got to be Liar Liar. That one's a go-to.
That's a great one.
So many quotable lines in that. Seen it a billion times. And number 1 is I don't know. It's probably might not be on y'all's list, but I don't know why. When I saw this movie, and it was a special one, and it's like one of my on a all-time list is The Truman Show. Just because it was uniquely done. It was different for him at the time. I like the concept of what would life be like if you were recorded and you don't know all the time and stuff. And I remember,
Everybody's recorded now.
yeah.
I heard he went wacko on that movie.
You mean like how our podcast
Yeah.
started? Just recording, you don't know it.
You're right.
Well,
He's always hot.
he was very.
Please tell me more.
I think he stays in character a lot too. So it was,
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason that movie always kind of, it's Hollywoodized, whatever. To think if they could really pull that off, and really record someone without them knowing, and So anyway, there you go. There's my top 5.
I'll go next because me and Sean obviously grew up together. My top 5 is very similar. That's okay. My honorable mention, which was not on Sean's list, I have one, was The Mask, because I enjoyed The Mask. And this is in order. Number 5 is Liar Liar, for the same reasons. I mean, they're all pretty funny, but Liar Liar, like, they had a lot of memorable scenes, and I thought it was a pretty fun concept, like, where he just does zany shit as a lawyer trying to, not lie, and then, they, like we said yesterday, they hated lawyers in the 90s. No, my brother was saying that. He was like, man, they really hated lawyers in the 90s, But number 4 is your number 1, Sean, The Truman Show. For the same reasons that you liked it. I thought it would be it made you think, am I being recorded? Is my family fake? It's like, did this girl really give me a hot tuba? Number 3 is not on your list. The only one is The Cable Guy. Only because it was so different for him.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so cartoony like the Ace Ventura stuff, and not cartoon. You know what I'm saying? The everything was so over the top. It was pretty over the top still, but it was a dark comedy.
That was almost number 6. I appreciated it more as I got older.
Yeah, and Matthew Broderick was kind of whatever in it, but I'm not a big
He
fan.
seemed kind of random to pick him in that role. But
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his. But and then I put both Ace Venturas together in number 2. I guess that's cheating, but for me,
really.
they're equally I like them both for the different reasons. They're both but I have to say the second one probably outweighed the first one when I was younger, but the first one outweighs the second one now. So when I was younger, I agree. Because when that came out, everybody was like, oh, all this stupid shit.
I think it's amazing how quickly they turned it around. It's like they came out back to back.
1 year.
years.
Yeah.
The first one exploded, and it's like, all right, we got to milk this one quickly.
Yeah, and my number 1, and probably this could be in my top 5 comedies, is Dumb and Dumber. That's by far one of my favorite movies. Every scene, every next scene, you're like, oh shit, this is great. Oh, this is great. Even the little stuff, hey, big gulps, huh? Cool. Later, and he goes to the back of the car. It's I guarantee you he's just riffing with the extras, drinking big gulps. He's like, hey, big gulps, huh? Yeah.
See you later.
There's so many gifts and lines that I use in everyday life, and even the one where he's almost puking when he sees his friend, with the girl. He's like, the puke meat, gift.
Or there's so many the whole thing where it's it's like Rita Felcher. It's like, yeah, I know her. It's like, you know, and then it's like, yeah, she told me some bullshit about some other guy. So I think she was cheating on me. What? He's like, I mean, like, oh, I don't know. The whole
get
thing.
that feeling too, man.
And then the Harlan.
Yeah, I get that feeling too.
And then the Harlan Williams scene with the cop, like drinking the piss and everything.
Tic Tac, sir.
Tic Tac, sir.
Get the hell out
He's
of
like,
here.
you'd shut up if you know what's good for you, buddy.
Yeah,
You
pumpkin
know?
pie haircut at Drake.
Give me that booze, you little. So anyway, that's mine. I'll stop putting it.
Alright, so I'll go next. I still have managed to get one that nobody said so far. Actually, two.
There you go.
Yeah, so I have two honorable mentions.
I've actually got 3.
Oh, nice. Bruce Almighty and The Truman Show. They're not in my top 5, but they're still really good shows. I like The Truman Show. I mean, so for all the repeats, I'm not going to repeat exactly what everybody else said. So jumping right into it, this isn't a particular order, but they really could just kind of change in and out.
Just the dryer.
Listen to the dryer.
The dryer wants to be part of the podcast.
Playing a tune. It's kind
The
of
dryer lets you know it's not in the buzzer.
So my number 5 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This movie stands out to me when I was like younger. It's a really neat story. Two people being together, realizing that they had previously had a relationship and their minds erased. Yeah, it's just a great movie. It's kind of weird, feel good, but not at the same time. Like, I don't know. Is it told out of order? I don't remember. It's actually been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. But
Yeah, I
It's a
didn't
solid
really see
watch, though.
Did it get like nominated and stuff?
I'm not even
I thought it
sure.
did, yeah.
My number 4 is Me, Myself, and Irene. And I have not seen that one in a very long time either, but I have great memories of a lot of the stupid shit, like when he's sitting in the car and he's got like a huge heart-on going up his leg. It's just, I probably wouldn't appreciate that movie as much now as I did back then, but I don't know, maybe I might like it more now.
I really liked when he first, like, because he was getting shit on, like, for the whole first half of the movie, and then like when he flips,
when he snaps,
when he snaps and like rips the paper at the woman, and takes a dump on their front yard. Like,
Yeah, I'd probably like it a lot more
that
now.
that was like one of the best. Like when he just starts going like, you know, takes the microphone in the grocery store.
Vagisil.
Vagisil.
Price check for one.
You know, something on your taco over there. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
Great movie.
Yeah.
My number 3, like Biff, you said you lumped your Ace Venturas together. I did as well. And exactly like you said.
Patrick's like, you lazy.
I probably didn't like the first one as much when I was younger, and I think the first one's now better than when
I agree, yeah. The first one's better now that I'm older.
Yeah, definitely
Weird
get all
guy,
the jokes.
weird guy.
My number 2.
Takes the runder.
This definitely could have been my number 1, but I couldn't not have Dumb and Dumber number 1. But my number 2 is The Mask. Key and Pete. Shame on anybody that doesn't nip Key and Pete.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I'm sorry.
I really haven't
That's
seen
what
The
I
Mask
remember
nearly
about
as
that
much as
movie.
I've
It's
seen
a
the
whole
other.
random dance.
All I
scene.
remember is how hot Cameron Diaz was. And she
And
never looked
that's
like
kind
that
of what
ever again.
spearheaded her
Cameron
career,
Diaz-
right? Like,
Cameron Diaz's face looks like a Halloween mask. I mean,
I love that movie. I watched the shit out of that movie.
she
That's
was
probably
hot.
the movie I watched.
She was hot in the movie. From what I remember.
She's always hot.
I don't know what the hell happened after that movie. She was completely different.
Yeah, her face is pretty rugged looking.
What was the time frame from that to There's Something
Something
on
About
It
Mary?
was like 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah. It was like 94 to 98.
She like completely dropped off the face of the earth. I think she only recently started doing stuff again.
She was in The Holiday, which was, one of
Right.
my,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
one of my Christmas honorable mentions.
She was on Holiday.
Christmas movie honorable
Was she
mentions.
the one in that like bad teacher movie or something where they're like,
No, you're thinking of Jennifer Aniston, I think, huh?
oh,
It might have been.
Horrible
No, that was
Bosses?
Cameron Diaz.
Oh yeah, no,
She
no.
was in a bad teacher.
I'm thinking of the boss one, where she's like the
Oh.
boss.
oh, horrible bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron
Yeah,
Diaz
she
seemed
was
like
in a
they
bad
kept putting her
teacher.
as a starring role, like trying to push her, and it was like, why? She's not that great, Like, why does she keep getting starring roles?
Just to finish off, my number 1's Dumb and Dumber, and it's for the exact reasons. The movie's incredible. It's incredibly quotable, memorable scenes. Just chef's kiss.
So it seems like we're going around in a circle here. I'll go next. I have one honorable mention, and surprised Russell didn't say it. Somebody said they hated it, but it's The Grinch.
Maybe.
I think it's.
Sure,
As
it's
far as
a
Christmas
top
movies
tier.
go, I think it's a pretty solid Christmas movie.
It is a really good Christmas movie.
There's a lot better Grinches, but okay.
Like the
Like the
original.
Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Nah. That's the animated one, right?
Yeah.
That one was decent.
Yeah, I think it's a good Christmas movie. But like I said, kind of like Travis said, when I was looking through the list on IMDb, I'm surprised at how few I found that I really liked. The 5, I'm gonna go with Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the original one.
I thought you were like.
I know, get
No,
him.
I thought you were like.
I'm legit getting something.
I don't remember really
you
even
made
liking
a
the
face
second
every
one.
time. So.
I think the only part I remember is like him coming out Ryan Jose.
You don't remember Guansuocha?
No.
White Devil?
Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago.
Chicago. I can't help but
Oh,
notice.
Shawshank Redemption.
Guano. I think I learned the word guano. From that movie. I mean, yeah, the first Pet Detective. I mean, I think it kind of sucks you in right away when he's like in the freaking tank, like and he finds the stone from the ring. And of course, Finkel and Einhorn.
It's actually right away when he's kicking
Laces
the package
out.
down the street.
That whole
It's like, I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, what movie? Yeah, that scene was great with all the like.
And that's the Monopoly guy.
Do not pass go. Do not put it.
All right.
So a lot of good lines in that movie.
Sorry,
like
Tom.
the laces were in, and the little footballs, and Finkel and Einhorn, and
I just like how everyone says like if like they show a picture of Ray Finkel and they're like, if you don't know what kicker this is, you can't be on my fantasy team or whatever. So.
I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts.
Laces out.
I don't know if you can necessarily say it's a Jim Carrey movie more than a Jeff Goldblum movie, but it's Earth Girls Are Easy. I don't know if y'all have seen that one. I mean, he plays with one of the aliens named Ooblock. If we ever did a Jeff Goldblum top 5, it would definitely crack my top 5.
We're actually gonna do a Jeff Goldblum top 3.
Jeez, man, what's with the Jeff Goldblum?
And I wanted to bring
Jeff
this up when we
Goldblum's
said
fucking
something
awesome.
about Mary. We should do a top 5 hated Ben Stiller movies. Hated, because I can't stand Ben
Oh
Stiller.
no, Ben Stiller is awesome, man. I love Ben Stiller.
Right, so, you
I
know,
like Zoolander.
Earth Girls Are Easy, you know, kind of a unique movie where the aliens come to Earth and she makes, Gina Davis makes them look human to where she can disguise them. She ends up falling in love with Jeff Goldblum's character.
Whatever happened to Gina
His name is
Davis?
Mac, he's the leader of the aliens.
She used to be in movies.
That's my
She's not
fourth
in
Jim
the
Carrey movie. Number 3 is
Not gonna be
no one's mentioned it yet either, and that's The Majestic.
Yeah,
It's just not. It's again not a funny movie. It's a series. Jim Carrey in a serious role where they meets a girl and they reopen this movie theater called The Majestic. It's funny because I think the lead actress is the chick from X-Files, and I don't know if she's ever really been a lead actress in anything else.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name.
Gillian Anderson.
Gillian Anderson.
No, not Gillian Anderson. I think it's like Bill Rubius on the X-Files. She kind of looks like Amy Smart, but older.
I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing The Majestic in like high school, but it didn't really stick with me.
It's a good movie. Again, not a funny movie. It's him in a serious role, but it's kind of a good heartfelt movie.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 and 2, it can kind of be interchangeable. I had a tough time deciding which one I wanted to put at number 1, but I ultimately went with the one I felt like I watch more nowadays, and one I feel like I can watch almost any day. But so number 2 was Liar Liar.
Yeah.
You know, they have a ton of good lines in that movie. You know, it's awesome to see him like trying to not lie throughout the whole movie. You know, that scene where he's kicking his own ass in the bathroom. It's hilarious. I seen with the girl with the big tits in the elevator. He's like, I pumped those things like Sugar Ray Leonard. And of course, you know, he gets Carrey always in the movie. Great gift, Dad. Thanks, son.
Thanks, son.
And number 1's Dumb and Dumber. I feel like I can watch that movie every day. The lines are so good in the movie. One of the scenes in that movie that no one's mentioned that's one of my favorites, when the dude fucking dies from eating the rat poison. He's choking on the fucking peppers. Won't you eat your burger?
It's like we're sorry, man. It was just a goof.
He sees the rat person. Son of a bitch. You heard what he said. Those were his last words. But I mean, a lot of us already had that as number 1, but I mean, like I said, I can watch that movie every day. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Weren't you talking about the 40 hours a week thing yesterday?
Yeah, I was talking about that with the joke that went way over my head when I was a little kid was when they, like, in the beginning, when they're looking for jobs, he's like, there's not a single job in this whole town. He's like, yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week. And, like, when I was a kid, like, we're just sitting there, and, like, Sean's dad, like, the first time I saw it, his dad's dying laughing, and we're both like, we don't get it. You know, like, because I still remember the night I saw it the first time. Sean's like, you're going to love this movie.
Gas man. How did you know I had gas?
And he's like, you're going to love this movie. Watch it in your living room at your parent's house. I got to sleep over.
remember
Like,
that over there.
I remember it because, like, it's my top 5 comedies. It was like when I saw Superbad in the theaters, I was like, this is one of my
We
favorite.
all remember our
movies.
first time.
My first Dumb and Dumber screening. I'm gonna buy the bathwater Jim Carrey. Anyway.
I'll go next. That's because we're going in order. I have 2 honorable mentions, and they're really because they only get kind of lost in the catalog of Jim Carrey movies, but they're really good movies. It's Bruce Almighty and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. They're mostly more so Eternal Sunshine. I feel like that movie should not be forgotten because it actually, you sit there and watch it and dissect it. It's actually a really good movie, and it has a lot of value to it. Bruce Almighty is obviously more of a comedic side. It's just a good movie. I think it's a little underrated, but Eternal Sunshine, people who have never seen it, I think if they watch it, it'd be maybe not their favorite, but it'd just be a movie they remember. And that movie gets forgotten all the time because he's got so many other classics and bangers in his arsenal. These are the funny ones like that. My number 5 is The Mask. Just with the cartoon animations in it, like when the tongue rolling down on the table, his eyes bulging out. It's also very meme and quotable, just for a lot of different scenes and stuff like that. Not the greatest storyline per se, but just some of the animations in the. For me,
definitely a weird movie, but
yeah,
it's like awesome at the same time.
What's the villain in the movie? The Doctor
Dorian?
Yeah. Just I liked his role in the movie. Kind of got outshone
That's a
by
pretty cool name to have.
yeah
Honestly.
by Jim Carrey as playing the Mask, but
Dorian.
I know a Dorian.
I know Kevin.
I don't know what it is.
My number 4 is Liar Liar, and a lot of the 4 movies on my list are this next, or all because there's a specific scene that just gets stuck with me. And then, like Todd said, it's the bathroom scene from Liar Liar when he's kicking his ass, and the guy asks him, "What are you doing?" "I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?"
Right.
That just stuck out and never left for me. Number 3 is Dumb and Dumber. And for me, it's the scene where the parrot gets smoked with a cork and dies. It's the funniest scene from the movie for me, even though there's so many more, like the bathroom scene when he's clogging it up.
Yeah.
And that, or
You're a regular guy.
yeah.
I want to make sure you stay nice.
Or the skiing scene. There's also the scene where they're interviewing the little boy and he's in the wheelchair. He's like, pretty bird. But
do that.
the bird and the cork scene for me is just, I remember watching it happen. I'm like, holy fuck, that just happened.
The bird with his head duct taped on.
yeah.
Harry, I took care of it.
The tuxedos, getting gas.
And like fighting. It's like,
Yeah.
time out.
Yeah.
And he hits him again.
And
It's like,
the reason I think I wanted to do this as a top 5 is because I think Jim Carrey was like one of the first comedians in acting that I remember watching, that I remember trying to imitate and do all this shit he did, which got me into a lot of, like, not real trouble, but trouble and just annoyance of my parents.
I got the pictures, the scout parade pictures, where our whole troop dressed as Jim Carrey. We're all wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is When Nature Calls.
Okay. So I wonder what your number 1 is.
Hard to guess, right? And my favorite scene from When Nature Calls is when Tommy Lee Davis gets shot with the spears, and he's like, just, and obviously getting shot out of the rhino, coming out of the rhino's ass is great. I saw a meme the other day. It was like, this is the heat that Jim Carrey talked about when he's in the rhino sweating his ass off.
I saw that too.
Just lines everywhere, scenes everywhere, but it does not top Pet Detective, which is my number one. And my memorable scene from that, for me, and it's not the funniest scene from the movie, for sure, but it's when he shows up to the scene and Tone Loc is kind of looking around and he opens the sliding glass door and he explains why it couldn't have been happened with that. And I remember doing that because my sister had a balcony, and the first time I went to her new apartment or house, and I kept opening and closing the balcony. My mom is talking to me, and I'm like, ah! And she was so fucking annoyed with me, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, that. And she's like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Just because I just tried to imitate the whole thing a lot of times, and it's so great.
I'd like to ask you a question.
I have to say, like that. Honestly, him talking out of his ass was like the funniest thing.
I did that. I got in so much trouble for doing that too.
Doing that.
Like my mom was trying to have like a serious conversation about something like school related, and I just went straight on into talking out of my ass, and she was like, If you don't stop and turn around, I'm gonna kick you square in that. And I was like, yes, man, whatever.
You haven't even know.
Yeah, like just even the scene where like he's looking over in the urinal at the guy, he's trying to like see if he wants to check his ring, and he punches him. He's counting the dots in his forehead. Eating the sunflower seeds and just crumbling them up on the desk.
Would you like an ashtray?
Yeah.
I don't smoke. It's a nasty habit.
driving out the car with his hand out the window like that. It's just pretty much every scene in the movie is a banger for me. So it's my number one.
Yeah, they did the sunflower seeds on the plane where he's like filling up the guy's arm with sunflower seeds, or like when he's flying to wherever.
You know, Dan Marino. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Dan Marino.
Isotone gloves. All right, so that leaves me, and I actually only have one on here that nobody's mentioned so far. But I only have one honorable mention, and Todd mentioned it as one of. I don't know if it was in Todd's top 5 or an honorable mention, but The Majestic. The Majestic is it's more of a serious role. And I remember going to see this when I was in high school and not really being thrilled about it because he was stepping out of that comedy role into a more serious role. And we've talked about this on the Adam Sandler top 5s, where sometimes when comedians step out and do those serious roles, the movies are just not that great. Like we think about Adam Sandler and Punch Drunk Love and Spanglish and movies like that. So I wasn't originally excited to see it, but it actually ended up being kind of a nice find, and I really enjoyed the movie. So that'll be my one honorable mention. Number 5 is going to be one Todd mentioned. He was the only one that mentioned this one so far, and that's Earth Girls Are Easy. My dad used to love this movie. Like, he used to rant and rave about it. He used to watch it all the time. It's more of a Jeff Goldblum, but Damon Wayans is actually the third alien. So it's Goldblum, Damon Wayans, and Jim Carrey are the 3 aliens. But really funny movie. It took place in the 80s. It's a really funny and cool movie, and so we watched it a lot as kids, and it might be the main reason it's on both of ours. Number 4, the original Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, for basically all the reasons you said. I mean, I thought it was kind of a clever plot twist at the end when you're not thinking that when they're looking for Ray Finkel that it was going to be a woman. And of course, when they find out that Finkel is actually a woman now, and then everybody starts brushing their teeth and throwing up and scraping their tongues and doing whatever. Just really funny movie. And got everybody excited about seeing the sequel. I didn't think the sequel was as good. It does not make my top 5. Number 3 is going to be the one that nobody's mentioned yet, and I know you may hear this one and think of it not necessarily as a Jim Carrey movie, but he had a pretty damn big role in it. As Batman Forever. So I thought he was a great Riddler.
He was a good Riddler.
I think Tommy Lee Jones was a extremely underrated Two-Face. I thought Val Kilmer was kind of an underrated Batman. He wasn't as good as Bale, but he was I just feel like it was a very, very campy, hokey movie. No, I enjoyed it. It's actually one of my
Kiss from a Rose.
one of my favorite Batman movies.
Kiss Me, Kill Me. Yeah, it's the U2 song.
So that comes in at number 3 for me. 1 and 2 has been said by pretty much everybody here. 2 is going to be Dumb and Dumber, and nobody's mentioned this one. I gave when we did the pod at Russell's house. I gave a shout out to Cam Neely. Cam Neely would be in my top 10 favorite hockey players of all time, but he played Seabass in Dumb and Dumber, and I thought he was a.
I was saving that for you.
I thought he was a hidden gem in it, and that's still probably. We talk about Talk about
Full
one scene.
Boilermakers.
Yeah, that scene.
Seabass
was
said that? Well, if that
Well,
gentleman
that-
over there in the hat is Seabass.
His
Okay.
His hat has wine him, dine him in 69.
So, and nobody's mentioned the Jeff Daniels Jeff Daniels bathroom scene
Yeah,
where he's like
bathroom.
fucking feet flying off the toilet
Yeah,
and
Patrick
you know,
mentioned it.
blowing it up.
I was like,
And
oh.
Ty was saying,
I mean, I really after you watch that movie, like you think about those two characters, and like I don't know if they could have picked two better guys to play those two characters. Like it was just crazy how much of dumbasses they actually played and did it so well.
Well,
Like,
I
it was
actually read an
crazy.
article not that long ago saying
Yeah.
that Jeff Daniels wasn't even originally
Right.
cast
they
to do
wanted
it.
like another comedian, and Jim Carrey
Gary wanted him.
insisted on a regular actor. And like Jeff Daniels, I think was the only one because Dumb and Dumber 2 nobody's mentioned because it was pretty terrible. And Jim
He's
Carrey
definitely better
forgot
than
how to
Dumb
be
and
Jim
Dumber.
Carrey's
Yeah.
character. Like it showed like his acting, like kind of limit. Like where Jeff Daniels literally was Harry again, and like Jim Carrey's character, like Lloyd or whatever. Like it didn't seem like it was the same character. Like it's almost like he forgot how to be the '90s Jim Carrey because it had been so much time had passed. So.
Yeah, but yeah, Dumb and Dumber is my number 2, and then my number 1 been mentioned by pretty much everybody here too, and that's gonna be Liar Liar. I think these two can basically be interchangeable, but when you talk about two Jim Carrey movies that you can just literally watch over and over and over again and just still laugh every time you see it, it's definitely that. One of the ones that nobody mentioned here from Liar Liar was a scene where the secretary finds out that he can't lie, and she starts asking him about all the gifts that he bought her. Garage sale, 5 marked down from 10. So
Tiffany's.
So yeah, great.
Or like the whole scene, she's like, it's like, I have a question. It's like, my neighbor had someone break in their house and they fell through their roof. And like, it's like, would you have defended?
Yeah.
Like, it's like he got him $5,000. What would you have done? It's like, I'd have got him 10. It's like,
Yeah. And then when Jennifer Tilly's having the affair and he's interviewing the guy she's had the affair with on the stand. All right, I fucked your brains out. Is that what you want to hear? I fucked your brains out.
He stuffed him like a
No further
Thanksgiving turkey.
So a lot of crisscross in them, but it's, some unique ones popped in on every list every now and
Oh,
again.
that's a cool
Ventura. Yes, Satan. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I thought you were someone else.
If you're here, who's running hell?
But that's it for my top 5.
All right.
And that's it for this podcast episode. Like I said.
Wagons out.
Wagons out.